Well, it finally happened. After a strong run this year, we just took our first 10 plus percentage loss. It was CTM stock. That was just after hours, it dropped about 13 or 15%. We were up $350 at one point, and then the P&L now sits around negative 600. And the best part, or the worst part, is that I basically broke my own trading plan. We had a clear trading plan and ready to execute it. I had one, right? But it didn't follow through with the stop loss. And today, we are going to go over exactly what happened, what I could have done differently, and how you can avoid making the same mistake when trading and investing. You know, we talk about it all the time. It's like manage risk. I was just on the phone with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about just, trading plans, things like that. That we're like, if there's one thing that makes all of the difference, it's to not lose money, and it's to have a stop loss in place. Literally, we had the plan in place. It's almost like I thought that the drawing of our stop loss was going to act as a stop loss. I don't really know what happened. But anyway, we're down today, and I'm going to do a full breakdown here on CTM. And it's a AI company, or not AI, but mostly large amounts of data, cybersecurity for the US government, and we'll be covering it in depth right now. If you guys enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. And also, the 20K subscriber special for our Stockmate Daily Live Trading is expiring tonight. So if you want to be there, hit that link in the second link down below. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoy.
The value in waiting when things like this happen. I know that it's important to manage risk, especially after you have something where it's gone past your stop. But it's not like we were risking a lot. At least for us, it's like $500 loss here. We've had multiple $500 wins throughout the beginning of the week and last week. So it's not like we're struggling. So I was kind of just playing with this right here. We could have easily sold at $1.11, but basically what we're saying is there is this support level. And when theses change, when you think something's going to happen, which in this case we were hoping that trade was going to execute at around $1.45. It ended up going from 135 entry up to 144, which we could have sold for that $300 profit or whatever it was. But when it sold down to this $1.11 price point, we could see right here, if you go back to June 5th, it's had this pretty strong support right there. Here, support and support. And that's exactly where it dipped when it recently dipped. So at one point, I think we were down well over $500. I think we were over $600 down here on this position. Easily could have just sold out right away, but there weren't a lot of indicators for why. I mean, our overall portfolio was up because, you'd see AMD is up, Rigetti is up. But if you looked at the market, things started off pretty green, and the market then kind of dipped after hours. SPY sold off a little bit. Part of the reason why is the sentiment with the Fed that they're most likely cutting rates soon. So I wasn't looking at this and seeing, oh my gosh, it's a terrible dip and we need to get out right now. I was watching it and I thought, well, hopefully this is that level at which it bounces. And that's what happened. So we see it get back up into this level at $1.27. So quite the recovery of about 8%. And we see it starting to find support here. I think there's a few things to consider. When it comes to the news of the stock market, you got interest rates from the Federal Reserve coming where potentially that's going to make assets increase more. You got the big, beautiful bill where there's going to be more spending. You have tax cuts, advantages for businesses and things like that, which some people don't like if they're, not holding assets or don't have a business. Most likely they're going to hate that bill because it means some things are going to, most businesses, big businesses are going to benefit. I don't think that that's a mindset that a lot of us have. A lot of us here on the channel, at least in the way that I approach it, is the incentives that are provided to businesses are things that drive the economy. When you incentivize business owners, like a business owner like myself, if I'm feeling incentivized, then I'm going to feel more inclined to do more business in the United States. And so when you have the bills that are passing, a lot of them are very business focused, which is not so good for people that, again, aren't holding assets. The other thing is whether there's inflation or not, we're most likely going to see some, if there's more spending here, and then interest rate cuts in the near term. Even if it comes as late as September, we're going to see inflation hit no matter what, and asset prices are going to go up as a result. I mean, if you look at how many US dollars is a Bitcoin worth, how many US dollars are these stocks worth, CTM stock in this case, or Tesla stock, it's going to rise over time because of inflation. So when it comes to, that's a pretty big macro picture. But essentially, like when it sold down here and CTM dropped 15%, I thought, is there a reason why? No. Is our thesis that it could bounce at this support level? Yes. So it ended up bouncing and it held the thesis. So we didn't sell out just yet. Luckily, I think at the intro of this video, while I was playing some golf earlier today, it was like a $600 loss. And that was the biggest loss we've had in a couple of weeks, which is good because we've had some $1,000 trades recently. So anyway, when we have this recovery up into these levels, that's what we're looking for. And we're actually almost right back where our entry was. We're a little bit down there. And what we're looking for is this potential swing up into this level of about $1.39. If we could see that level be reached again, then we're going to continue some bullish momentum. But the other thing that happened with CTM stock, they have been getting contracts and their financials have been good, and they recently paid down debt. But what happens? You got some institutional selling kicking in just because, we see some dilution recently and things like that. Their stocks are getting bought up pretty quickly. We saw an increase in volume today on CTM, even though it's down at the bottom of our list here. It's showing less volume on the current volume, but it's a 1.9 million in volume, which is much greater than what we normally see there with CTM. So overall volume seeming to kick in. And I do think if we're going to see that 125 level hold, we're definitely very bullish, but we'll be watching it. Really what's going to tell here is the pre-market. If the pre-market continues selling down, then yeah, we got something on our hands. We got to manage risk for real again. If our thesis holds true that it is going to maybe hold this level and pre-market doesn't show signs of total bearish momentum, then we'll most likely still hold CTM stock through and try and make this trade work out. But if not, we'll manage risk. We'll see what happens at market open tomorrow. And if you guys want to join us live, it's the second link below. I just got off the phone with one of our new members. It was Jude, who just recently joined today. And I gave him a phone call, and it was funny. Not everybody reacts this way. But I call Stockmate members. Most times we talk on the phone, and he's saying, I didn't expect you to call me. He's like, this is awesome. And I was like, oh, sometimes people react that way. And anyway, if you join Stockmate, I want to talk to you because we got some moves happening as well as the free t-shirts. Let me know your thoughts on CTM down below, as it is holding above that $1.25 price point. Is that a full recovery, or do we see it start to have some bearish momentum? Do let me know in the comment section for what your thoughts are, and I'll keep you guys updated on it tomorrow. So guys, I'll see you in the next video.